This is an instructional video on the order of operations. Most of you know it as PEMDAS, so parentheses, exponents, multiply or divide, add or subtract. Another term that some people use is grouping instead of parentheses, because the parentheses uses the parentheses in the brackets, so some people remember it better that way. So I just want you to keep that in mind. You can use that. And then I just like to go over the vocab really quick. The order of operations. It's the sequence to follow when evaluating an expression or solving an equation. When you evaluate, you calculate the value of an expression. To substitute, you replace variables with constants. Grouping, punctuation that means to do first. Exponent, power index, a math notation that tells you how many times to use the base as a factor. Okay, so now we're going to practice PEMDAS, and we're going to start with this expression, and we're going to evaluate x equals 5. And what that means is, where the x is, we are going to substitute the 5. So 16 plus x is 5, 15 minus x, which would be 5, divided by 5 to the second power. Now, if we follow this PEMDAS or GEMDAS, the first thing we have to do is what is in the parentheses, which is 15 minus 5 is 10. So we are going to change it to 16 plus 5 times 10 divided by 5 to the second power. Now the next step is exponents. So 16 plus 5 to the 10 divided by 5 to the 2, which is 5 times 5, which is 25. So remember, you want to do the exponents next, 5 times 5, and then simplify it. Okay, so the next step is multiplication. So 16 plus 5 times 10 divided by 25. Because we're just going to carry over our completed work. So the first thing we have to do is multiplication. So 16 plus 50 divided by 25. So the next thing we have to do is do the division. So 16 plus 50 divided by 25 is 2. Okay? So then we're going to go down here because we're doing addition or subtraction. So add 16 plus 2 equals 18. Okay? So that is your solution. Now, I showed you up here. These are the groupings, parentheses. Exponents, this is when you have the base and what you multiply it out to, the number. Multiplication, you're going to see it as an X, as a dot, which I think when you start doing equations, it's going to make more sense to use the dot, because when you use the X, you get confused with the variable. Or remember, when you have these parentheses, you are multiplying 2 times 2, because this means side by side, it's multiplication. Now division is that division mark or the slash, okay? And we know that add is plus and subtract is the minus sign, okay? Now I want you to pause your video and I want you to try the 2 problems on your own that are on the back. Is we're going to substitute the 3 for the n. So it's 3 minus 1 plus 2 to the third power minus 3. So we're doing the grouping first. Okay, so we know that that is 2. So 2 plus 2 to the third minus 3. So then we go to the exponents. So it's 2 plus 2 times 2 times 2 minus 3. All right? So this becomes that. So 2 plus 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Now there's no multiplication, so I'm just going to go all the way down, and I'm going to go 2 plus 8 minus 3. And so we know that 2 plus 8, because addition is first, is 10 minus 3. And then we do subtraction, so 10 minus 3 is 7. Okay? Now the next one, we're going to put in the 4 where the p is. So 4 squared times 3 minus 1 plus 4 over 2. So again, we're going to do the 3 minus 1 first, which is 2. So we're going to do 4 to the second times 2 plus 4 divided by 2. So exponents are first, so 4 times 4 times 2 plus 4 divided by 2. So here, 4 times 4 is 16 times 2 plus 4 divided by 2. Okay? So now we're going to do multiply and divide. We see multiplication, so 16 times 2, you do that first, plus 4 divided by 2. So 16 divided by 2, 16 times 2, is 32 plus 4 divided by 2. So now we're going to do division. So 32 plus 2, correct? So then we're going to bring that down here, and 32 plus 2 is 34. So there's your solution. Okay? Thanks for listening.